Okay, now here I am. I'm going to try out two of my Temu products at the same time. And one of them is this beautiful little, this is a light tablet it's called, and it's used for tracing. It's quite, technology's come a long way since they used to make light tables. And this is the same idea. So what it's going to do is it's going to light up underneath your drawing or underneath your lettering. In this case, I'm using it to transfer some Ojibwe lettering onto wet transfer or wet tissue paper, wet strength tissue paper. And I do this with, hopefully, these will be nice bleed proof, waterproof felt pens, and I get a nice fine line that way. And then once it's dry, I can collage those around the outer rim of my paintings in this area here. And this goes so transparent that you can't tell there's collage on my pieces. And so we'll see how this light table works. Now it does suggest turning off your light sources. So I'm gonna do this. And then I'm going to turn the light table on. I guess I should have chose a color first. There's an interesting, I think I'm going to choose this reddish. No, you know what? I'm going to go with a brown. I'm going to be safe. I know there's a lot of reddish brown in my paintings, so I think that will be a nice accompaniment. And now it says in the instructions that you can change the amount of light coming through because it's quite low right now. It's not really lighting. Oh, that's better. Oh, look at that. That's incredible. Okay, so there's 3 settings. I'm going to use it on the highest setting. And I'm going to, there's 2 sides to this wet strength tissue paper. And I find even though these are bleed proof, I haven't used this particular felt pen before from Temu. But I have used other brands of this type of felt pen. And if I do it on the rough side of the wet strength tissue paper, I do get a little bleeding, even though these are supposed to be bleed proof. So one side of the surface is very smooth. The other side of the wet strength tissue paper is a little rough. And I'm going to put the rough side down and I'm going to trace onto the smooth side. Now I'm just going to put a little dot of tape in a couple of spots. I use this beautiful blue painter's tape. It's got a really good tack, but it comes off without tearing. And just a couple of little pieces. Now there's a bit of static on top of the light tablet, and it's keeping that lower level, that lower piece of paper nice and still. But the top piece, of course, is going to want to move around. So I'm going to just tape the tissue paper to the underlying piece of paper. And that will, keep that in place for me. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to just set one of my other lights up on low. There, that's a bit better. When you get old, you get blind. I need all my reading glasses and everything now. So let's see how this pen works. Let's make sure it actually makes marks. It does. Okay, so now we're gonna have to, ooh, we're getting a lot of bleeding. Oh, I don't know if I'm happy with that. I may have to switch. I'll finish this one line, then I'll turn my lights on and I'll see. And I may switch back to the black felt tips that I already have used because I know they were bleed proof. Yeah, we're getting a really fuzzy line. These are really fine pens, but look at how thick that line is coming out. Yeah, I don't think these are doing what I was hoping they would, unfortunately. They're not serving my purposes anyway. by the look of it. Yeah, see this, when I was using my other felt tip pens, this was the sort of coverage that would happen, this bleeding, on the rough side of the wet tissue paper. Oop. So let me turn this light on for you so you can see. Nope. Now see how fuzzy and large that writing became. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. So even though they advertised as bleed proof, they bled quite a bit, as you can see there. And I really wanted a finer mark than that. So yeah, that's not going to do it for me. So I'm going to go back to the fine liner pens that I've already used. And this is the set here. And now these, oddly enough, I believe these came from Temu as well, but it is waterproof and they are only black. So that one, these are made in China and the brand is Touch Moom, and they did not bleed and they are waterproof. I know that for a fact. These are Guangna 12 needle pens. I was really excited because there's so many different colors and I could match colors to what was in my paintings instead of using just black for my lettering. But at this point in time, these are not going to do it. And it does say water-based, pigment, waterproof. It does not say bleed proof. So, okay, I'm sure I'll find a purpose for these at some point, but it's not going to be what I was hoping to use them for. So the light stand, I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10. The felt tip markers, for my purposes, I'm going to give a 4 out of 10. But I do like the colors. There's a lovely assortment of colors there. Everything from ochres to greens, forest browns, black, navy, even a purple, and looks like a teal. So